Good morning. We are in the car. Well, I'm in the car waiting on Matthew. He walked out and realized he was in his slippers, so he went inside to change into his work shoes, and we are on the way over to our house that we're working on. We are working on a fence today. It's quite cold, but here he comes.
Changed out of slippers.
Yep.
But my feet were so toasty.
I know. All right, we are outside. It is a little bit windy. We got a confirmation from the truck that it is 41 degrees outside today. So definitely a little cold. It's not supposed to get much colder than that. I think the high today is like 45. So we're working in the cold, but at least it's sunny. All right, so we are working on a retaining wall that will be the first part of our fence. The first step will be drilling. We rented this auger that will help us drill the post. And you can see where the ground is raised. That's where the old retaining wall was. All of these cinder blocks came out. They were all kind of falling over and crumbling and just disintegrating. So we are going to put in a new retaining wall all the way down to where this earth kind of gets leveled out here. So we're going to build the fence all the way around the back of the property, which goes to about that tree line. It's kind of in the shadows. You can't really tell from there, but kind of all the way around up this side along these trees. And you'll see there is this other kind of little fence, but we're going to have ours be for dogs. So it'll be more confined than this little fence is. And then kind of around this little parking pad area, and then end here at the corner. Up on this side of the house, it was in much worse condition. It's much taller. So you can kind of get an idea of what that will look like down there. So you can see it all here. This is obviously much taller, but it turned out really great. It was really overgrown here. We didn't actually realize there was a retaining wall until we started clearing out the brush, and then realized that the retaining wall was falling and we would need to replace it. So that added quite a few weeks to our project over here. So the one down there will look more like this. It's just probably about 2 railroad ties tall with the post in front of it. We'll leave the post long and have a fence running on top of it. So that's the plan for today. Hopefully we get the retaining wall mostly done. We have to let the concrete set. So that'll take overnight, especially in the cold. So we're hoping to get the retaining wall mostly done today. First things first, we have to clear out all of the old block. It's just kind of in the way. We're just trying to start with a fresh, clean area, just so we have room to move and measure things and move these bigger pieces of wood around. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, just getting the area prepped and clean. We're on our way to Lowe's and to my mom's to get a few tools, and then we'll be back to finish up the retaining wall. What time is it? 12? We should probably just grab lunch while we're out too.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, there's a dog over here.
Living their best life.
He is. Look at him in his little Santa costume, arm out the window. He's definitely living his best life.
He's a reindeer in training.
So yeah, we're just running errands. We'll be back at the house probably in an hour. I mean, there's some things we need to get at Lowe's other than just tools. We need to remember a toilet paper holder. That's something that's been on our list that we've forgotten.
Literally every time.
Yeah, so there's just some things we got to get. So we are on our way to a different Lowe's because Lowe's actually has some deals going on right now for their DeWalt tools. And you can get 2 DeWalt batteries, a charger, and then 2 free tools for, what was it, $199 or $249?
$279.
It's a great deal, and it's worth us going. We can get one of the tools for the same price, or we can go to the other store, which is about 30 minutes away, and get the 2 batteries and 2 tools. So we're just going to go ahead and make the drive. So we just got back to the house and just had lunch, and we feel like new people. It took us a lot longer to run those errands than we thought, just because we had to go further away. So it's 2:49 right now, and this was the first time we've eaten today. So yeah, so we're feeling a lot better. We're gonna get back to our project. I have to go run over to my mom's to grab something really quick, but I will be back. So Matthew's gonna go ahead and get started. There's a few little short tree stump things that are blocking the wall that he's gonna go ahead and cut down while I'm gone, and then I will be back and we'll get started on the retaining wall.
I like it. It was worth it. Last bottle.
Hi, Beck. So today's my birthday. Matthew and I decided to work out here. Even though it's my birthday, we really just want to get in this house. It was my choice. I wanted to work. I wanted to get this done because the sooner we get this done, the sooner we can move in. And so my mom just called and she's going to go pick up Thai food, which is what I requested for dinner tonight. She's going to go pick it up. She has to go about 30 minutes away. There's no Thai place here where we live. And so she's going to pick that up for us and have it ready when we're done working. So, yay! All right, we just finished outside. It is dark, as you saw. It was a long day, but there was a lot of running around, which we didn't anticipate, and we still got to the point that we wanted to get to. So I'm really glad that we pushed through. When we were setting the first post of the second round, so I think it was like the third or fourth post, I was like, I can't go any further. This is gonna be the last one. I'm really glad we pushed through, because otherwise then we would just have to do it tomorrow. The concrete would have to set. It would set us back another day. So I feel like we're making really good progress with this wall. We, knock on wood, should be able to finish it tomorrow. Today we are back over here. I'm actually waiting on Matthew. He had to run to the store to get a few things for the project today. The goal for today, the posts are fully set for the retaining wall. So we will be laying putting a layer of gravel or rock. I'm not exactly sure what the size of it, but so we'll have a layer of gravel or rock, and then we'll put those railroad ties on top of that as like a foundation, and then attach them to the post that we set yesterday. You notice that we put one of the railroad ties in place. There will actually be another stacked on top of that. We wanted to put them in place because it's really important to put the post immediately in front of where the railroad ties are going to connect, because both of the railroad ties will connect to the one post. So that was why we put the railroad ties in place yesterday, just so we could make sure that the posts were in the right spot that we needed them to be. Today, the goal is to move those railroad ties forward so that they can be attached to the post, and then we'll move the other ones on top, and attach those as well. Those railroad ties are really heavy. I don't know if anyone has worked with them before. I'll have to look up how much they weigh and I'll put it on the video. But Matthew and I lifting them, it's very heavy. It's really my finger strength. I think when I lift them, it's hard for me to hold on to them for so long. But we managed to get them in place yesterday. We only have a couple that we'll need to move today, so we'll just work through that. It is just the two of us working, and hopefully we will finish this retaining wall today, and then the next step will be working on the fence. So we decided to work on the bottom part of the retaining wall because the rock obviously flows downhill. So we think it'll be easier once we get the railroad tie on the bottom level in place, so that it kind of holds the gravel and keeps it from falling down, because it will step. It's a kind of a stepped retaining wall. So hopefully this will work out better starting at the bottom and going up. So we'll see how it goes. Not all projects are fun. It's just like I feel like nothing is working. Like the drill bit thing is not working, the staple thing is not working. My shoes are not working because they are caked with mud. Section 2 done.
This shit sucks.
Alright.
Alright. Like you said.
I guess when I say done, I just mean that the railroad tie is in place. We still have not drilled through. So each railroad tie, we have these long screws. So it'll go through the post into the side. Each railroad tie will get 2 screws per side. Yeah, so we have 3 sections to go. So we're learning as we go. We're on the 3rd one, which is the middle. There's 5 sections. And instead of having to pile a bunch of rock on the downhill section, we're using the block that we took out of here as a resting post on the bottom, like the downhill side, so that the cross tie sits on top of that block on the downhill section. So we're learning as we go. 4 down, 1 to go. All right, last railroad tie in place. And so now we put plastic underneath to help also prevent the water from just rotting the wood railroad ties. So now we're just gonna, we have a stapler. We're gonna go through, pull the plastic up to the back and just staple it on so that we can backfill behind the railroad ties.
Now that we've got the ties in place, we have to backfill with the extra rock that we have. And that's just to give the water a place to run off. There is more that's going to be happening after here, and we have to go get a drill bit to actually secure them to the posts. But we want to get the rock in behind before, so that just in case there's a little bit of settlement movement, it can't move as far.
Hi, we are back at the retaining wall. This is the next day. We are obviously in different clothes. So we finished the retaining wall yesterday. We attached all of the railroad ties to the posts that we set. So now the only thing left to do, which we'll do in another video, is backfill this with dirt and rock, and we'll put a cauldron pipe. Is that what it's called? Pipe thing? Cauldron?
Nope.
What is it?
Drainage pipe.
Drainage pipe.
Corrugated pipe is the
corrugated pipe, that's what it is. A corrugated pipe behind, just to help with drainage. Then it'll officially be done, but it's fully built. We just are waiting for some work to be done on another part of the property where we'll be digging out some dirt, and we'll go ahead and use that dirt to backfill the retaining wall. So we're just waiting for that work to be done so we don't have to buy dirt that we'll have in a couple of weeks anyways. Matthew is getting started on mapping out our fence and getting a supply list together so we can order materials, and we will go ahead and start the rest of the fence later this week once the materials come in.